What's up everybody, I'm Stella Chung and this is the Weekly Fix, the show where we round up all the gaming and entertainment headlines you may have missed this week. Sega has released more details on the Sonic compilation game Sonic Origins, including a very confusing chart. Plus, we've got tons of Elden Ring updates to get through. In the entertainment world, Netflix is losing subscribers by the minute, and we speculate on whether or not HBO Max will see a price increase of its own. This was a big week for news, so let's jump right in.
Sonic the Hedgehog has been having a pretty good month. The Sonic 2 movie is doing well at the box office, raking in more than $235 million in counting, and Sega just dropped the release date and details of the upcoming retro collection, Sonic Origins. The compilation will package Sonic the Hedgehog 1 and 2, Sonic and Knuckles, and Sonic CD. Each title will be remastered, so they should look great on all current platforms. The standard edition will set you back $40 with pre-orders going up tomorrow, April 21st. But all is not well in the Sonic fandom, as Sega also detailed what you'll be getting with each version of Sonic Origins. The base collection comes with the 4 Sonic games, and the Digital Deluxe Edition has more DLC content for $45. However, this more expensive edition still does not come with all the DLC. There will also be a separate Premium Fun Pack, Start Dash Pack, and the Classic Music Pack. So let's break it down and stay with me here. It might get a little confusing and maybe more than a little infuriating if you're a Sonic fan and you just want one neat and tidy package that has everything. Sonic Origins Standard Edition comes with the 4-game collection. The Digital Deluxe Edition comes with the games plus hard missions, character animation in the main menu, camera controllers over the main menu islands, character animation during the music islands, and additional music tracks from the original Genesis Mega Drive versions of the games. The Start Dash Pack is currently free DLC, but you need to pre-order either edition of the collection to get it, and it comes with 100 bonus coins, a special letterbox background, and mirror mode unlocked. The Premium Fun Pack comes with all the extras found in the Digital Deluxe Edition, plus the letterbox background, but no bonus coins or mirror mode. The Classic Music Pack adds the additional music tracks from the original versions of the game. Okay, phew. So let's do a TLDR. If you buy the standard edition and you want everything, you'll need to pre-order to get the Start Dash Pack and buy the Premium Fun Pack and Classic Music Pack. If you buy the Digital Deluxe Edition and want everything, you need to pre-order to get the Start Dash Pack. No word yet on how much the 2 paid DLC packs will cost, but it's kind of infuriating. Did you get all that? If you did, well, you're probably just as upset as Twitter user xxjuan_776xx, who said, quote, "Evidently, it's impossible to put everything into one version of a game these days. They always have to get every penny out of us." Remember the good old days of Oblivion charging $2 for horse armor? Yeah, I remember. Sticking with retro gaming news, developer Tribute Games and publisher .mu have released new gameplay for their 80s nostalgia-filled beat-em-up Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Shredder's Revenge. And they gave us a release window of sometime in 2022. Yeah, it's a large window, but I'll take it. Shredder's Revenge was announced last year and is the spiritual successor to the classic 4-player Ninja Turtles arcade game, and get this, it will feature the original voices from the 1980s TMNT cartoon series. That's right, Cam Clark, Townsend Coleman, Barry Gordon, and Rob Paulson, who voiced Leonardo, Michelangelo, Donatello, and Raphael respectively, will return to their iconic roles for the game. Cowabunga indeed! And finally, in more modern gaming news, PlayStation has finally released an app for Windows 10 and 11 that lets players update the PlayStation 5 DualSense controller. The DualSense was compatible with Windows out of the box ever since the PlayStation 5's launch in 2020, but if you needed to update the controller's firmware, it could only be done by plugging it into the PlayStation 5. Well, now you can do it from Windows, no PlayStation 5 required. Good thing, since PlayStation 5s are still pretty hard to find.
Hideo Kojima may have woken up and decided to troll the world this morning when he posted a tweet alluding to having joined PlayStation Studios. Now, Kojima set the Twitter world ablaze when he posted a picture of the PlayStation Studios banner with games from all of Sony's first-party studios, including Death Stranding. Now, the cryptic tweet sparked speculation that Kojima Productions may have officially joined PlayStation Studios. Now, acknowledging the misinterpretation, moments later, Kojima followed up with another tweet clarifying that Kojima Productions is still and will continue to be an independent company. Now, we at IGN have reached out for more clarification, but so far, nothing. The speculation over new PlayStation acquisitions is at an all-time high, and Sony is currently on a buying spree, having acquired the likes of Housemarque, Bungie, and Valkyrie Entertainment. Now, one possible explanation is this tweet could be Kojima Productions' close relationship with Sony, as the new studio was announced alongside the Sony 2015 PlayStation E3 presentation. So maybe this whole thing is just Kojima showing some love to the company that gave him his baby that bridged the gap between him and Norman Reedus. His baby, of course, being Death Stranding, and I said bridge because bridge baby and Death Stranding. Man, y'all played the game. Y'all get the reference. Anyways, moving on. Horizon Forbidden West's creative director says Guerrilla Games is already setting up for a sequel to the open world game. Now, speaking with VG247, the creative director said that just as Horizon Zero Dawn set up the story for Forbidden West, seeds have been planted for the third game as well. Now, Horizon Forbidden West ends with another big cliffhanger, apparently serving as a setup for the next installment to continue. Not giving much else away, the creative director states several story elements will be points of interest the third game will pull from. Now, he continued by stating storylines from the past and old world could also be tapped to evolve Aloy's story arc. Now, there's a lot they can work with, and it seems the team at Guerrilla Games is already thinking about a third game, though no confirmation has been made just yet. Let's just hope it doesn't launch a week before another massive open world game. I don't know, Grand Theft Auto 6? Is that still happening? Rockstar, where y'all at, man? Anyways.
FromSoft just released its Elden Ring 1.04 update across all platforms today, and lots of big changes are made to strength builds, magic users, and new quest events. Elden Ring players with strength-based builds are going to feel like Thor again, as changes to colossal weapons include increased attack speed, decreased recovery time, and increased two-handed damage.
See, Loki, life is about growth, it's about change.
For magic users, things are going to get pretty fun, with several dozen incantations now more effective, with increased damage, lower FP costs, and a lot more. We're talking increased cast speed, decreased recovery time, and so much other stuff that you just gotta check the patches for. So this is great news for players with magic and strength builds, assuming they haven't already powered through the game pre-patch. The biggest changes were made to new event phases for the NPC known as patches, though no details were added regarding the new event phases, so players will have to check in with patches to find out more. Good luck with that. It's not all good news though. The Swarm of Flies incantation, used by many to beat Millennia, is now less effective with decreased blood loss build-up on enemies. Players are already lamenting the nerf, saying it is making the fight against the Vixen a bit more difficult, with Millennia remaining completely intact. Swarm of Flies can still be a valuable incantation to use in the fight against Millennia, but players may have to take lessons from Let Me Solo Her or Thor with lightning incantations to beat Millennia. Speaking of the legendary Let Me Solo Her, the Tarnished Hero has now become immortalized in Elden Ring as a new mod to help players traverse the lands between. Spotted by VG247, FromSoft for content creator Garden of Eyes created a mod adding Puppet of the Legend, Spirit Summon, allowing players to conjure an exact replica of Let Me Solo Her that's capable of taking down badass boss babe Millennia. The description calls the dual katana-wielding half-naked hero a warrior whose skill has a match to the Rot goddess herself, replacing the Lone Wolf Ashes item, and currently only available by subscribing to Garden of Eyes mod focus patron. Unlike the real Tarnished Hero, Puppet of the Legend will respond to summons for any boss fight or in any area where Spirit Ash summons are allowed. So he's not so much Let Me Solo Her as Let Me Solo Anything. The puppet of the legend might not be as cool as a visit from the real deal, but I can imagine Let Me Solo Her is quite busy battling Malenia for hundreds of desperate players, so this mod may be useful if you're on the waitlist. Just remember to toss a coin to your tarnished hero. And since we're all about Elden Ring today, a tutorial was added for Elden Ring's tutorial because, let's be honest, it can be easily missed. If you're unfamiliar, the Elden Ring tutorial section introduces the core mechanics of the game in what's known as the Cave of Knowledge, teaching players guard, counter, stealth, and more. The Cave of Knowledge at the beginning of the game is accessed by dropping down a pit next to a Spectra NPC in a chair. But it's easy for new players to miss it because, video games have been training us to avoid falling in pits. Leave it to FromSoft to hide the in-game instruction manual at the bottom of one. Now, since the new patch, there's a message that pops up in-game informing new players that if they'd like a crash course, just jump down into the hole. So once again, FromSoft patches are nudging players into a pit, but this time it's for their own good.
Portal 1 and 2 co-writer Eric Wolpaw has shared his desire to begin work on Portal 3, but warns it may be tough to actually get it started at Valve. As reported by VGC, Wolpaw appeared on the Kiwi Talks podcast and ended his appearance by saying, "We've got to start Portal 3. That's my message to whoever." He went on to say he isn't getting younger, who is, and that if Valve wanted to do a Portal 3 with any of the original team members, it should greenlight the project sooner rather than later. Alongside working on the Portal franchise, Wolpaw has written on Half-Life 2, Episode 1 and 2, also Left 4 Dead and Half-Life Alyx, so one would assume that he has some power in convincing Valve to act on making a Portal 3. Unfortunately, it still isn't that easy. While he admits he'd love to work on Portal 3, he understands he can't make it happen by myself.
You can advocate for it?
Oh, I could advocate for it. I would not gonna help, but the problem is with 300 employees and there isn't, I don't know exactly the breakdown, like how many of them are on the production side versus Steam business side versus legal versus whatever.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
There's a lot of opportunity cost to taking 75 people and trying to get a game made. Like, everybody's working, they're working all the time. It's just you don't always see it doesn't always end up coming out, or it comes out years later. Everybody is accounted for, I guess is what I'm saying. People are all doing something. You would make money, but what kind of money will you make? Counter-Strike Go money? Probably not. But having said that, maybe every game doesn't need to make Counter-Strike Go money. Gabe, if you're listening.
Eric, this is Brian from IGN. I think I speak on behalf of every video game nerd out there that we absolutely need a Portal 3. It's been way too long since we've gotten a new mainline entry in the Portal game series, and the world is ready. No disrespect to the bridge constructor thing. It's fine. I want a real, actual Portal 3. Make it happen. And finally, Twitch streamer and Japanese business owner Audrey Lamson did some expert sleuthing to find out exactly where Sora from Kingdom Hearts would theoretically live in real-life Tokyo based on the look and view from his apartment in the most recent Kingdom Hearts trailer. What? Okay, that is incredibly impressive. Audrey points out that Sora lives in Aoma in Tokyo, which is one of the most expensive residential areas in the city. This is based on finding the actual apartment that Sora's in-game apartment was based on, adding that purchasing this apartment and its luxurious view of Shibuya Stream would roughly set you back $1.2 million US. Long story short, Sora is rich. Damn, man. Maybe he's getting Disney royalties, or he made a ton of money selling his huge clown shoes, which no longer appear on his feet in the Kingdom Hearts 4 trailer.
It's time to take a quick break. When we come back, we discuss what Thor: Love and Thunder will actually be about and why Netflix lost 200,000 subscribers this past quarter. See you in a bit. Welcome back. With the merger of Discovery Plus and HBO Max, we are all left to wonder if it needs an increase in subscription prices. But speaking of increasing prices, Netflix has been trying to crack down on password sharing within households, which has led to a drastic drop in subscribers. Let's find out some more details on this.
Might have to change your Netflix password soon, as the streaming giant isn't happy about subscriptions being down by 200,000 in Q1. Now, with that dip in subscribers, Netflix stock recently dropped by 35%. Now, to put it in dollars, that's a dip in value well over $50 billion. Now, after hearing its loss in subscriptions, investors clearly got shook by those Q1 numbers. So what does this mean for us, the consumers? Well, Netflix wants to start cracking down on people sharing accounts. Now, in a letter to shareholders, Netflix admitted that revenue growth seemingly slowed down and that the prevalence of streaming competition isn't helping. But the big issue the company acknowledges is the sharing of a single account across multiple households. Now, in the letter, Netflix said, quote, "The big COVID boost to streaming obscured the picture until recently. While we work to reaccelerate our revenue growth through improvements to our service and more effective monetization of multi-household sharing, we'll be holding our operating margin at around 20%. So they acknowledge that big quarantine pandemic boost it received, but now that it's so big, exponential growth has slowed and something needs to be done about password sharing across multiple households. And according to the same letter, Netflix admits that back in March of 2021, the company began testing different sharing monetization approaches in 3 markets in Latin America. Now, this new approach essentially gave current members a choice to pay for additional households to use the subscription service. Now, with that presumably came a price hike. If Netflix does decide to charge me more money for allowing other family members to use my account, then I'm canceling my subscription service. Now, sure, it'll make my job here at IGN very hard since I need to watch certain shows, but you know what? I'll find a way to watch what I need to watch. And so will the regular consumers out there who also don't wish to pay more money just because Netflix is trying to make up its loss in revenue. I mean, what y'all need to do is produce more movies and release them in theaters, or partner with networks to make more original content that has life outside of your streaming platform. I mean, there are ways to make up the loss in revenue that doesn't require sticking it to the consumer by raising prices. You know, maybe that's why they're working on that live-action One Piece adaptation, which they shouldn't. Anyway, at least Netflix is keeping our big boy Zack Snyder well employed and well paid with his upcoming sci-fi fantasy movie Rebel Moon. Now, Snyder shared photos of the first day of production on set in this tweet, giving us a glimpse of what once started off as a Star Wars concept he pitched to Lucasfilm. Now, it was originally going to be a follow-up to the events of the Return of the Jedi movie, but then Disney swooped on in and bought Lucasfilm. Thus, Snyder reworked the premise, and now it'll be its very own thing in the near future. And finally, the Fast and Furious franchise continues to race on into the future till the wheels fall off, with the next installment parking itself in theaters next year. And now, thanks to Vin Diesel, we know what the logo looks like. Now, Vin shared this image on social media where we can see the Roman numeral X detailed as a headlight because it's cars in that movie, you know it. Some fans, or maybe just me, are already reading way too much into this logo reveal and speculating that XXX's Xander Cage, portrayed by Vin Diesel, will make a cameo appearance in the movie. Now that means Vin Diesel will act alongside Vin Diesel, which is sure to go just as well as this scene with The Rock.
Not bad for a cop.
I never thought I'd trust a criminal. Till next time.
Till next time.
Man, it's so weird, man. It's like 2 NPCs in Cyberpunk 2077 talking to each other. Anyway, Xander probably won't appear in the movie because Vin Diesel is Vin Diesel in every movie. Now, at a cool $43 billion, the Discovery Inc. and Warner Media merge is solidified, with the two companies taking aim at closing the streaming gap between themselves and the competition. But what does this new merger mean? Will the Discovery WB merger raise the price of HBO Max? Well, speaking with CNBC media and technology reporter Alex Sherman, we looked for further insight to that very question. Now, Sherman laid things out quite bluntly, telling us that in general, every streaming service price will increase, similar to a cable bill. Now, breaking down how the business works, he told us, quote, they're all going to go up. And of course, they're going to go up because they're going to spend more money on content to compete with each other. And then they're going to need to make up their revenue. Well, makes sense. Now, keep in mind, Sherman's notion on prices going up is pure speculation at this point, since the big boss over at WB Discovery, David Zaslav, hasn't made an official announcement on price increases for streaming streaming packages yet. As things stand currently, Discovery Plus and HBO Max are still separate streaming entities, though it's been confirmed by Discovery CFO that the two platforms will be combined in the future to form one massive streaming platform giant. Now, when the two services do eventually merge, with it will come additional content, as Discovery is home to networks like HGTV, the Food Network, and BBC's Natural History Collection. Pretty much everything I don't watch or have any interest in ever watching, ever. But, if you're into, home repairs and DIY projects, I guess you'll soon be able to check out HGTV's Rock the Block. And no, the Rock has nothing to do with that series. Nah, so don't be expecting Dwayne Johnson to pop up hammering 2x4s. So the question here is, will you stick with HBO Max if there's price increases due to the WB Discovery merger? Now, if they play the game right, similar to how we've seen with Netflix over the years, they'll have small incremental price increases over the time that we're with them. Or maybe the Discovery Plus content will come as an add-on to start as they slowly roll it into the overall HBO Max offerings. But I want y'all to let me know what y'all think about this merger. Comment down below. Now, continuing on with the merger conversation, WB Discovery CEO David Zaslav also wants to bring new life to DC properties and overhaul what's been brewing in the pot. Now, speaking with Variety, Zaslav explains how he wants to shake things up regarding DC feature film development, streaming shows, and the DC creative itself to put the property in a better position to compete with Marvel. Good luck with that, by the way. One thing on his list is finding a creative guru similar to Kevin Feige to spearhead production and make sure all the different factions at DC work more harmoniously. Ooh. Now, good luck and Godspeed finding a Kevin Feige-like figure to piece together the DCEU. I'm pretty sure there's only one Feige that exists. He's a one-of-a-kind guy. Anyways, finally, out with Ezra and in with Grant, as fans are demanding the CW star replace his silver screen counterpart as the Flash. Now, with Miller's recent arrest, numerous public meltdowns, and a reported executive meeting held to discuss the actor's future with the studio, fans have taken to the internet to express their frustration, demanding Grant Gustin be promoted to take on the role he's been cosplaying for many years on the CW. No shade, but I mean, come on now. Look at Grant's suit compared to Ezra's.
What the hell is this? Is this cosplay? Oh, do you want a selfie, bro?
No,
I'm sorry.
We're not, no.
With the suit like that, not really, fam. I'm sorry. I am very, very sorry. Now, while I doubt WB will level up Grant Gustin to replace Ezra Miller on the big screen, it's more than possible for his Flash to appear in the upcoming Flash movie. But what are your thoughts on this? Should Ezra Miller be replaced? What should they do given all the trouble that has befallen the actor as of late? Sound off down below. Happy Thor 4 Day, everybody. Now, we finally got the trailer for Love and Thunder, and with it, we got a glimpse of Natalie Portman as Jane Foster's mighty Thor. Now, while the trailer was a smorgasbord of dazzling eye candy, there were quite a few elements we didn't get to see and that were left unexplained. Fortunately, along with dropping the official trailer, Marvel also dropped the official synopsis, and it reads, the film finds Thor on a journey unlike anything he's ever faced, a quest for inner peace. But his retirement is interrupted by a galactic killer known as Gore the God Butcher, who seeks the extinction of the gods. To combat the threat, Thor enlists the help of King Valkyrie, Korg, and ex-girlfriend Jane Foster, who, to Thor's surprise, inexplicably wields his magical hammer Mjolnir as the mighty Thor. Together, they embark upon a harrowing cosmic adventure to uncover the mystery of the God Butcher's vengeance and stop him before it's too late. Now, so much like previous Thor films, Thor Ragnarok in particular will be seeing a team-up of sorts in order to take out the big bad guy, Gore the God Butcher. As his name suggests, Gore sets out on a vengeful crusade to kill all the gods in the universe as he became angry with them for never answering his prayers after discovering gods are in fact real. Now, he's had numerous run-ins with Thor, and it'll be interesting to see how things play out on a cosmic level. Now, we know the main players in Love and Thunder are Thor, Korg, Valkyrie, and Jane, so that leaves us to assume the Guardians of the Galaxy play a small bit in Thor's journey to finding true meaning in his life post-Endgame.
Just look into the eyes of the people that you love. Not me. What? Just listening.
Speaking of the Guardians of the Galaxy, director James Gunn has no plans to touch the Star Wars series as of right now, nor does he have any interest. Now, while his relationship with Disney remains pretty solid, despite that one time he was fired then rehired for some past tweets, when asked by a fan on Twitter if he could make a Star Wars trilogy, Gunn responded by saying, quote, "I'm finishing a Guardians trilogy. That's enough space opera for me at this moment." Not to mention he's also handling a Guardians of the Galaxy Christmas special, so I think it's pretty safe to say he's content with handling a galaxy far, far away in the present. And finally, the foolish mortals over at Netflix are making an Exploding Kittens animated series and mobile game. Now, I call them foolish mortals because it's a freaking card game. Anyways, according to Deadline, Netflix ordered both a series and mobile game with the likes of Lucy Liu, Tom Ellis, and many others lending their voices to the project. Now, Mike Judge's animation company is behind the series, so expect Beavis and/or Butthead and/or Hank Hill to make a cameo appearance.
Stop that. It makes no sense.
I doubt that. I'm just saying stuff at this point. Next up, actually, Netflix is planning on making a live-action movie of Uno and a 4-part mockumentary of Cards Against Humanity. These are lies, I'm saying. I'm just saying stuff, really. But you know what? The Exploding Kittens animation and mobile game is a real thing, and it's heading to a Netflix near you. No word on the series release, but the mobile game will be available in May. And may we all pray for Netflix and their random-ass decisions.
I'm Stella Chung, and that was your Weekly Fix. We'll be back here next Saturday with more of the biggest gaming and entertainment news of the week. See you then.